Great, so let's go to our page. So we have searched for Rock Springs there, and what we want to do now is to understand the structure of the web page. So we use the inspect tool there, and the logic is that you want to iterate through all of these boxes, so to say. So we grab the HTML of these boxes, and then we go through inside of those HTMLs. So we iterate through those HTMLs, and then we find the tags for the data that we want to get. So that brings us to the point that we should be looking for the elements that identify these boxes. So if I go inspect here again, I'll see that this half box has this div with this ID, and actually I want an upper level, so I want the entire box there. So if I go here, now this looks like the entire box here. So the inside here should be the data. This is the picture, and yeah, this is the price. So here is the text for the price, and we have this prop price as a class for the h4 tag, which creates this number here. So this is the first division, and then we should have the next div somewhere there, here. So property row here, property row again. So the class property row, and again here. And let me put this down here, so docking it at the bottom so that we can see the entire box there. Okay, like this. So here we go. And so what I would like to scrap and save them in a CSV file or Excel file with pandas later is I'm going to get the price, the address, the number of beds, the number of baths, the area of the property, and also the lot size, if there is a lot. So some properties don't have a lot there, so we have a trick there, and you're going to learn how to crack that. And so these are the data that I'm going to grab from each property. And let me put this up here again. And you can either click here and inspect, so it goes directly to the elements, so to the price, or go manually, which is probably better because it helps you understand better the website, the structure of the web page. And so this is a price, and then down here, inside here should be the address, elements, primary details. These are the bets, so if we expand this, you'll see that here is the text for the address. So it has a span of with this class name, and this here is the name of the town, the code for the state, and the zip code as well. Great, but first of all, as I said, I need to go through this property row class of the div. So let's do that here. And you know that you have a method called findAll, which applies to the soup object. So findAll, and this will generate a list with all the div elements that have a class of, was it property row? Yeah, it's property row. Property row with capital R, and that's it. So Alt enter, execute that. And so what can you do? Well, all, print it out and maybe see what you get. So it starts at the very beginning of the very first property row division, So that would be the first price, which was this one here, up here. And then there should be a comma here after the first division ends. But anyway, if you don't want to find that manually, you can do something. You can find the length of this all object, which is like a list. It's not exactly a list. Actually, it's a result set element of the BC4 of the Beautiful Soup library. But it has a length function just like lists do. So length all and you get 10. And we have exactly 10 results for each page. So first page here, second page has 10 results, and so on. Now this is like a list, so it doesn't have a find all method, but its elements, so let's say the first element, this element has a find all method. So just like you do with Beautiful Soup, so you apply the method, a find all method to Beautiful Soup to find tags elements, you can do the same for the elements of the all list, so to say. Let's call the result set a list. So that means you can apply a find all method to this source code. So let's look for the price. Well, you can go to the inspect or just look through here if that is, yeah, this is not much code. So I found the price here. So we have the h4 tags, h4, and it also has a property price, a prop price class. So let's pass that. You can choose not to pass that. But the problem you may run into if you don't pass the class name is that if you have other h4 tags in the code, Python will extract them as well. So you need to specify which h4 you want. So prop price there, find, and here is a price. So this is a price, but with the tags as well. So, and this is actually a list, as you see. Now, because we have only one price for each property, in this case we are allowed to use the find method. So that would give us not a result set list, but the actual tag element. That means we can now apply a text object here. And we get that funky string there. So things are not that simple in real life, as you see. But luckily, all this object is actually a string. So it's a plain Python string. That means you can apply string methods to that object. So let me Ctrl Z to remove the type. So in this case, what we want to apply is we want to remove all these characters. And a way to do that I think about is replace. So you want to replace the \n with nothing. So just pass an empty string there and see what you get. Okay, these guys of this Century 21 website have decided to make our life difficult. But how about applying? So we've got some space there, white space, as you see. So we replace the white space with nothing, and we get the actual string. Great, so we sort of know that things are working well at this point. And for now, I'm just printing out the results. So as I already mentioned, it's good to first use print statements when you're building your programs. And then you replace those print statements with other functions that you want to use for this data you're getting or other objects that you're working with. So in our example here, later on we will be adding some pandas methods to grab these values and send them to a CSV file. So that's one of the first thing I would like to say. The second thing is that here now we grab the value of the first element. Now we start to think about being efficient. So we need to, instead of going and extracting all the other elements, like the property address and property state and so on, maybe it's good to actually start building our for loop. So we now know that individual values are being extracted correctly, but now we want to make sure that a loop that iterates through all these properties is also working. And let's go ahead and start writing the loop in the other lecture. But for now, let's actually organize this code. So here is a trick you can use in Jupyter. So I go to the first cell and I'm in command mode. So you press escape to go to the command mode, and shift and J, you select the other cell. J again, select the other cell, or you can go up with K. So J, J, J. And what I want to do now is I want to merge all these cells in one single cell. And to do that, with shift pressed, you press M. So shift M, and you get all the cells merged into one single cell. So this is more an issue of preference, but it's good to have a clean notebook there. So this is what we did so far. Let's go ahead and run the loop in the other lecture. See you.